A machine that can outrun a fighter jet during takeoff. A car so rare that only a handful of people on the planet will ever touch the steering wheel. A price tag so extreme that even most millionaires would laugh nervously and walk away. Some cars are built for transportation, some are built for speed, but a few are built for something entirely different. They are built to prove that money, engineering, and obsession have no limits. These are not vehicles you see in traffic. These are the machines hidden inside private garages, climate-controlled collections, and billionaire playgrounds. Each one represents the absolute peak of automotive engineering. Carbon fiber bodies, engines that scream like rockets, and prices that climb into the millions before taxes. And the craziest part is that most of them sell out before the public even knows they exist. Tonight, we are stepping into a world where horsepower numbers sound unreal, production numbers are smaller than a classroom, and owning one of these machines means you have reached a level of wealth very few humans ever experience. These are 10 hypercars that only billionaires can realistically afford. And the deeper we go into this list, the more unbelievable the numbers become. The world of extreme hypercars changed forever when the Bugatti Mistral was revealed. This machine represents the final chapter of the legendary W16 engine that powered some of the fastest cars ever created. The Mistral is not just another Bugatti, it is the last time that a 16-cylinder monster will ever roar again. The car produces around 1,600 horsepower and reaches speeds that push the limits of what a road car should be capable of. But the most shocking detail is not the speed, it is the price. Each Bugatti Mistral cost roughly $5 million. Only 99 units were built, and every single one sold out almost instantly. Many buyers already owned several Bugattis before adding the Mistral to their collection. For them, this was not just a car purchase. It was buying a piece of automotive history. But even that level of exclusivity begins to look normal once you enter the world of Pagani. Pagani does not build cars the way other manufacturers do. Every single piece feels like a work of art. The interior of a Pagani looks closer to a luxury watch than a typical vehicle. Exposed carbon fiber, polished aluminum components, and tiny mechanical details that seem almost impossible to manufacture. One of the most breathtaking machines from the company is the Pagani Utopia. The Utopia represents the pure philosophy of driving. No complicated hybrid systems, no artificial driving assistance that removes the connection between driver and machine. Instead, it relies on a massive twin, turbocharged V12 engine developed with Mercedes-AMG. The engine produces around 860 horsepower. That number alone is impressive, but the real magic of the Utopia is how it delivers that power. The car feels mechanical, raw, and completely alive. Only 99 couples will ever exist, and each one costs more than $2.5 million. And even at that price, every single unit was claimed by collectors before production began. Now imagine a car so exclusive that the company personally chooses who is allowed to buy it. That is exactly how Ferrari handles its most extreme creations. Ferrari has a long history of producing limited hypercars for its most loyal clients. The latest masterpiece in that tradition is the Ferrari Daytona SP3. Inspired by classic racing prototypes from the 1960s, the Daytona SP3 looks like something that escaped from a museum and turned into a modern rocket. Under the sculpted body sits a naturally aspirated V12 engine, producing more than 800 horsepower. In a world increasingly dominated by electric assistance and hybrid systems, Ferrari decided to celebrate the pure sound and power of a traditional engine. The result is one of the most emotional driving experiences ever created. Only 599 units were built, and each one carries a price tag close to $2.2 million. But buying one is not as simple as writing a check. Ferrari only offers these cars to certain customers who already have a long relationship with the brand. In other words, even if you have the money, you still might not be allowed to buy one. But if Ferrari is selective, then Rolls-Royce takes exclusivity to another dimension. Rolls-Royce shocked the automotive world when it revealed the boat tail. This car is not simply rare, it is almost mythical. Only 3 boat tail cars exist on the entire planet. Each one was custom designed with its owner during a process that lasted years. Every detail was tailored specifically for the individual buyer. The rear of the car opens like butterfly wings to reveal a luxury hosting suite complete with champagne storage, custom tableware, and parasols. It is less of a vehicle and more of a moving luxury experience. The estimated price of the Rolls-Royce boat tail sits around $28 million, making it one of the most expensive new cars ever created. To put that into perspective, you could buy a private jet for the same amount of money. But believe it or not, there are hypercars focused far more on speed than luxury. One of the most extreme examples is the 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭 Absolute. 𝐾𝐨𝐧 has spent years chasing the dream of building the fastest production car on Earth. The 𝐶𝐨𝐺 Absolute is their ultimate weapon in that pursuit. Designed with minimal aerodynamic drag, the car is built specifically to break top speed records. The engine is a 5-liter twin turbocharged V8, producing up to 1,600 horsepower when running on advanced biofuel. The transmission is one of the most advanced systems ever created, capable of shifting gears almost instantly. The theoretical top speed of the 𝐶𝐨𝐺 Absolute is rumored to exceed 300 miles per hour. That number sounds more like an aircraft statistic than a car specification. Each unit costs around $3 million, and the production run is extremely limited. But speed is not the only way to dominate the hypercar world. Sometimes the goal is pure innovation. That philosophy led to the creation of the Aston Martin Valkyrie. The Valkyrie looks like a spaceship because it was developed with direct influence from Formula One engineering. The design focuses on extreme aerodynamics and weight reduction. Huge tunnels carved through the body generate massive amounts of downforce. The engine is a naturally aspirated V12, developed with Cosworth that revs to an incredible 11,000 RPM. Combined with hybrid technology, the total output reaches around 1,100 horsepower. Driving the Valkyrie is often described as the closest experience you can have to piloting a Formula One car on public roads. Production is extremely limited, and the price sits well above $3 million depending on the configuration. But if the Valkyrie feels like a race car for the road, the next machine on this journey takes speed obsession even further. The Hennessy Venom F5 was built with one goal in mind: become the fastest road car ever created. Hennessy engineers developed a massive twin turbocharged V8 known as the Fury engine. It produces over 1,800 horsepower. The lightweight carbon fiber body allows the car to reach unimaginable speeds. The target top speed is more than 311 miles per hour. If achieved, that would place the Venom F5 in a league few vehicles have ever approached. Only 24 coupes are being produced, each costing around $3 million. At this point, you might be wondering something interesting. How much performance can a car realistically have before it becomes too extreme to drive? Apparently, there is no limit, because the next machine on this list proves that manufacturers are still pushing boundaries. The Lamborghini Revuelto represents a new era for the Italian supercar giant. It replaces the legendary Aventador and introduces hybrid technology without sacrificing the screaming V12 that Lamborghini fans love. The Revuelto produces more than 1,000 horsepower through a combination of a naturally aspirated V12 engine and electric motors. The design is aggressive, futuristic, and unmistakably Lamborghini. While the base price sits around $600,000, highly customized versions can climb far higher once collectors begin adding special materials, personalized design elements, and limited edition configurations. For billionaire collectors, that level of customization is part of the attraction. But there is one brand that treats hypercars almost like scientific experiments. That brand is Gordon Murray Automotive. The Gordon Murray T50 is considered by many enthusiasts to be one of the purest driver-focused hypercars ever built. Gordon Murray, the legendary engineer behind the McLaren F1, designed the car with an obsessive focus on lightweight construction and driving engagement. The T50 features a high-revving V12 engine and a unique central driving position where the driver sits in the middle of the cockpit. Even more fascinating is the massive fan at the rear of the car that actively controls airflow and downforce. It sounds unusual, but it allows the vehicle to generate extraordinary aerodynamic performance. Only 100 units exist, and each costs over $3 million. And yet there is still one hypercar brand that continues to shock the world with outrageous engineering. That company is Bugatti. After years of dominating the speed conversation with the Veyron and the Chiron, Bugatti introduced a new masterpiece known as the Bugatti Bolide. This machine was originally developed as a track-only concept designed to explore the extreme limits of performance. The Bolide features an incredibly lightweight body and the famous Bugatti W16 engine, producing more than 1,800 horsepower. Its design looks almost alien. Sharp angles, aggressive aerodynamics, and a shape built entirely around maximum speed and cornering performance. Only 40 units will be produced. Each one costs around $4 million. And that leads to a fascinating realization. At a certain level of wealth, cars stop being transportation entirely. They become rolling sculptures, technological experiments, and symbols of status that only a tiny group of people on Earth can experience. But here is something even more interesting. Many of the people who buy these machines rarely drive them. Some hypercars are stored in private collections with fewer than 100 miles on the odometer. Others are transported between luxury events, private racetracks, and exclusive gatherings where the world's wealthiest collectors showcase their automotive treasures. For these buyers, the value is not just speed, it is a rarity. It is prestigious. It is the knowledge that almost nobody else can own what they own. And in a world where wealth continues to grow at the very top, the competition between manufacturers to create the next ultimate hypercar is only becoming more intense. Engineers are experimenting with hybrid systems, electric power, and new materials that push performance beyond anything seen before. The next generation of hypercars could reach speeds and power levels that make today's machines look almost ordinary. So the real question becomes something fascinating. If these are the hypercars billionaires can afford today, what will the machines of the future look like? Because history has shown something very clear. Every time the automotive world thinks it has reached the limit, someone builds something even more unbelievable.